This is just a wonderful test of the emergency broadcast system. Boop. Well, hello, this is Jimmy the Hammer, and I'm here with my coach, Dan John. Hi. And we've just finished again, this is something I'm going to have to edit out because I'm sounding like an idiot, but we're at this seminar that we've just completed where we combined easy strength and original strength with Tim Anderson, and we had a great time. It's been awesome. We've been hosted here by Mike at CrossFit Koncepts. And Dan, I wanted to ask you a quick question because this is going to be a quick interview. Hopefully we can talk at another time, but kind of explain because all 40 people that watch my channel are not going to be familiar with easy strength. And I think your point is that getting stronger isn't as complicated as everybody seems to think it is.
No, I usually tell people it's like learning how to type on a typewriter. You know, if you're trying to teach someone to type, you don't get behind them and scream at them, A. You let the nervous system take over. You give yourself practice. You don't type to failure. You don't do forced reps on typing. You type, and then all of a sudden get faster. You get smoother, to the point that if you think about typing, you don't type you type TEH if you start to think. So that's the way the human body works. It's wired in a magical way. That's why I like working with Tim so much, because Tim has that great insight about, he talked to us yesterday about, there are stories of many people, very smaller people, picking up cars to save a loved one. They didn't think, I'm going to win the national championships if I do this. I'm going to impress everyone in the gym if I do that. They just uncorked a lift and it came up. So, and of course I'm a track coach, so it leans in very well to the way we do track and field. You can throw far, jump far, all this stuff. But if you ever try to do it, it just doesn't work. There's an orchestration that has to happen. So what easy strength is this idea that I want to go in the gym and I want to get stronger. I want to lift more weight there. I want to squat more weight here. So instead of punching yourself in the face, slamming yourself against the wall, you're going to go in and practice the movement. You want to leave the gym fresher than when you started and come back and do it again. And you just keep layering on that nervous system. There's all these magic words that you don't need to know, but you practice. The feeling of these workouts is that you don't feel very much is going on. And yet for me, almost universally on workout 22 when I do it, generally I tell it's about a 40-day workout. Generally, for most people I recommend it first, 5 days a week, just go in, 2 sets of 5, practice, get better. If it feels light, go heavier. 8 weeks, 40 workouts, your lifts go up. Generally for me, I find about workout 22 is when the magic happens. In my own case, I broke my lifetime best in the incline bench press on workout 22. In college, I'd incline 300 and I put 315 I was by myself in winter, I had a brand new car at my feet, and I did 315 for a double. I could have got a lot more. And I just kind of laughed out loud because it was like 1, 2, well, that's a personal record. And I got more, but I was worried about the car yeah. More than I was worried about my numbers. The same thing happened with thick bar deadlift. My best thick bar, the thick bar I use is 3 inches. So it's a real, yeah. Deadlift like this, it's raptor grip. My best was 265 and 18, 19 workouts down. I had noticed that 295 felt like nothing, 300 felt like nothing. And I went to 315. So 3 big plates on the thick grip. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? But the more I experienced life, the more I noticed that almost everything in life works that way. If you try to push it, you force it, you get your own way. And I think, I'll tell my male athletes, it's like if you meet a girl and you just get right up in her face. Of course, they don't meet girls anymore. They do that. But most things in life, you don't really, you don't force it. It's very gentle. It's very easy. How to get a good education. You show up, and you keep going. It's if you put together 13 years from kindergarten to high school, you have a high school diploma. Well, you don't do it all in one day, or you don't try to force it. You take your time.
Most normal people anyway.
And that is kind of if there is a secret to life, I would honestly say the easy strength approach works well. If you want a good retirement, you little and often over the long haul.
But I want to reiterate something, because this is something that most people don't quite understand. Because when I first read it, it's like, really? Learning more about it than, yeah, it's written. So that means, just let's reiterate. So that means that if I want to lift 100 pounds, I need to go out there and I want to shoulder press 80 pounds and like be almost dying every workout, right?
Well, you could do that. A lot of people do, but then every time you miss, you ingrain a miss.
Yeah.
Also, too, you're also putting your connective tissue in weird positions on misses. You get those weird. So you're injuring yourself. You're teaching the nervous system some wrong ideas. You might end up with this great, oh, I have a pump, how wonderful I am, but you really don't improve. You don't get better. And this is the way I teach it in the workshop. I talk a lot about nudging. You want to nudge yourself up. You can't keep, like in the throw, like if you throw 200 feet, perfect wind conditions at the Nationals, and it's your lifetime best, and everyone's happy for you. And it's funny, truth story. People walk up right after and go, well, when are you going to throw 210? Like, oh, geez. But what happens is if you keep trying to force that top up, you get stuck. Mm-hmm. And what I'd rather you do is go to 160 and see how easy you can throw 160. Nudge up that 80%.
Right, you nudge up the bottom.
So that we call it raising the floor,
right.
Nudging up the bottom. They're all the same concept.
So to reiterate, knowing that I knew what the answer was when I asked the question, but so instead of trying to get the 100 pounds, for instance, you'd say 30. And when 30 is really easy, you go up.
Yeah, it's a common question you're asking. Now people want to know what percent. I want you to lift something that's light at first, and then give yourself 40 workouts. Well, what do you mean by light? And it's like, oh, I don't know what light is for you.
Right. And I'm just throwing out a number.
Yeah, but it's a good one because, so in a contest at 3 a.m. in the morning, I deadlifted 628, okay? Half of 628 is 315. That's 3 big plates on both sides. So on paper, 315 should be light to me. Mm-hmm. But it's weird because 315 still kind of feels heavy. In another lift, like in this, I was going to say the Olympic snatch or some of the kettlebell moves, if you go half on a kettlebell, it's stupid light. It's unliftable light. It's like you get out of your own way. It just flies through.
Throw it away.
So a lot of it's going to depend on your background, your experience, your perception of what easy is. And that's tough. And I mean, I spent my whole career, I'm a track and field coach. By the way, easy strength relates to the way we train track. And I mentioned it in the workshop, if you have a high school kid running a repeat 400 meters at 80 seconds each, he probably can keep doing that. And after practice, say he does 3, 80 seconds is terribly slow for 400 meters. Okay.
It would probably be good for me.
Yeah. Well, and probably good for you. What am I saying? Yeah. But we're not high school 400 meter runners. So you run 80. Well, his buddy over there, the collegiate who runs a 46, he runs 3 46s in a practice. And we might need to reconsider the next 5 or 6 workouts because they're tapped out.
Yep.
Now there's a chance that athlete go out and do something stupid too. The ability of an athlete to do something stupid is always amazing. But the one running 80 can just keep running 80. But as you get up to those higher numbers, the 40s, as you sink in those middle 40-second numbers, 45, it might take you, to go from 46 to 45 might take 5 years of concentrated training.
And I don't think, we kind of discussed this, people, particularly if they're untrained, people don't quite understand the whole, this takes a while. If you want to get stronger, if you're totally untrained, then the amount that you get stronger actually is fairly quick.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
To begin with. But then it's a very long slog.
So, yeah, it's a good point. In the 9th grade, I benched 100 pounds. In my sophomore year in high school, I benched 200. My junior year, I benched 300, and you wouldn't believe what I benched as a senior. And sadly, I thought that was the way my whole career was going to be. And then the reality of big weights hit you. Anybody who's in an elite field knows that. I mean, I've talked to drag racers. I've talked to, if you talk to somebody who's on Broadway or in ballet, the difference between the Broadway star and somebody who does the local repertory theater in, Murray, Utah, the skill, obviously there's some better, but the difference between the Broadway star and the 300 people who lined up for that job, who applied, did the auditions, it's almost nothing. In my world, the same. I mean, it's funny because once you get to a certain level, it's like, how can you not deadlift 400? I mean, everybody can, because you're around people all day who are Division I athletes who do that. And then you go to a high school, and it takes you about a year, and then go, how can you not deadlift 300? Every football player I have deadlifts 300. And then you go to a senior center, and you're like, how can you not deadlift
90 pounds?
90 pounds. Because, Edna, who's 89, can do it. Yeah. So one of the issues is that in any field, you start to, you kind of get used to who you're around and what you see. So if you go to a typical gym in America, what you see is a lot of people not doing a damn thing. You'll see them there, they'll be on the treadmill, slog, and they're either on their cell phone or they're watching TV. They're not training. They might as well just go outside, take their dog for a walk. It'd be better for the dog, be better for the world, and
you'll save money on
on the gym. Yeah, $9.95 a month. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to go to a gym than to buy a treadmill. I'll say that. But they're not working out. Then I'll look over and I'll see someone. I was at this public gym not long ago, and this guy was doing leg curls, and he just laid down on the leg curl machine between sets and played with his phone. I watched him. If I said 10 minutes, maybe I'm exaggerating. He got 2 sets in 10 minutes. He wasn't doing anything. So if that's your normal, the typical American gym, no wonder people don't know how to get stronger, because they don't see it. So, and if you come in my gym, my house, and train with us, you'll see people striving to get stronger, get more mobile, get more flexible, change their lives. And once you start doing that, you begin to appreciate the work that goes in to get there, the years.
And a couple of the important things to remember is, as I recall it, show up and keep going.
Show up, don't quit, ask questions.
Yeah, and get a good coach that will keep you accountable.
Yeah.
Like, did you do this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would even say, or find a group of interested people.
Yeah.
And that's something I've learned in my life. We call it intentional community. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a cliche that says you're the sum of your 5 friends. And
or show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll. Yeah. I forget what the phrase is.
Right, and because you are the mean of them. And so one of the things you can do is get yourself involved in a group. By the way, I think Easy Strength is great. I think Tim Anderson's original strength is the answer to a lot of questions. Phil Maffetone's cardiovascular number is the answer to everything. And when you swim the ideas together, that's when you have a chance for all your dreams to come true.
But the key to it is it's not as complicated, and it actually doesn't take as long as the popular conception seems to say that it is.
Yeah.
But I would say one of the points that you brought out during the seminar that I had an answer to, but I didn't give you an answer, because one of the things I noticed in this seminar is the vast majority of everybody here seemed to me have been relatively fit most of their lives.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Not me. So I would have loved to have had the evaluation, because you're looking at a bunch of fitness trainers, and I'm just some guy that, I've lost 100 pounds a few times because I'm addicted to carbohydrates. Here I am. You stick tortilla chips in front of me, I'm going to eat them. And I think the reason why, you made a comment about people want to go out there and they want to, this isn't hard enough because we want to punish ourselves.
Well, that's
It's not hard to,
the
so
concept of gluttony and sloth or sloth.
now I have to punish myself by only eating 1,000 calories, and I need to go into the gym and sweat for 2 hours
And your body will rebel
after about a week.
and you'll have deep mental issues.
Yep.
There's the Minnesota study proved conclusively that 1,200 calories a day for a male will drive him insane. And yet, I just read a fitness trainer from Los Angeles, Hollywood, saying that that's what he expects his people to do. And I'm like, yeah. And which makes sense sometimes when you see people in Hollywood doing crazy things, or any industry that is on the show, so to speak. You look what they're asked to do, and then look at how they try to get there, and it makes more sense. Folks, you don't need to be insane to be in good shape. Fast sometimes, drink some coffee, get your sleep, go for a walk, eat your protein, eat your veggies, drink your water. There, I just saved you a lot of work.
And I loved one of the stories that you have told on podcasts at some point, where you were the coach of you were a coach of one of the teams, one of the times, and magazine wanted to come and see what you did, and they came and you're like, yeah, we're going to do Olympic clean and what is it?
Snatch, clean, and jerks.
Snatch and clean and jerks. Well, what else do you do? Snatch and clean and jerks. And they came the next day. It's like, what's the secret? Snatch and clean and jerks. That's what we do. Yeah, but you win all the time. How is that possible?
Yeah, well, if you have a North Star, Sirius Black, that's my dog's name. So you figure out what you need to do. You do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, why is Yo-Yo Ma so good in the cello? Well, what, he lucked out? No. He was young, started playing, loved it, stuck with it. And now he's in movies. He's in Glass Onion, Mm-hmm. The secret, there is no secret. There's never been a secret to success, I don't think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is.
I mean, and nice to have you have rich parents in the American experiment, but...
No, I was going to go back to show up.
Yeah, but for the rest of us, it's show up and get the work done, and you're going to get punched in the mouth, and your job is to overcome it.
And get up.
Get back up, baby.
Get back up. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully we will have another at some point, like a real Zoom long form. And I want to get out of here because Mike wants to leave and close the place. And it's been very
long
kind.
day. Yeah.
It's been a very, very long 2 days. And so thank you very much, everybody. And this is Jimmy the Hammer saying, always be the hammer, Jimmy the Hammer.